How you doing, everybody? Sorry for the long wait. This is episode 2 of Be Cultured. This episode's book is The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. I'm your host, Justin Taylor, producing by Otis Brown. Okay, with that being said, this week's book is The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. In this book, it's about a young shepherd who is trying to find his way by seeking his personal legend. On his journey, he meets an Englishman who tells him that he can introduce him to the famous alchemist to show him the ways of alchemy. So in his journey, he meets different people who give him different life lessons. And it's kind of like a story of finding your way and not so much going by the book, but becoming your own person and living life the way you ought to be living it. Even I seen Will Smith on an interview with Tavis Smiley saying that this book is great. So sometimes celebrities can kind of like, make the book promote it, make it seem extra big. So, like you want to read it because these are people that you see on the big screen. And you hear like your college professors may recommend this book, and it's a good one because by reading this book you see the story unveil and all the steps back that this young man takes in his journey to find his personal legend. And that's what we're all doing. We're all trying to find a personal legend. What's our worth in this world? And that's why this book really kept attracting me more as the book went on. And it's something that you can't put down because no matter where you're at, it's always you have a plan, and then it's somebody else who comes in on your plan and tell you, well, I might want to do things this way, or well, you should do things that way. He stuck to his plan. It wasn't easy for him, but he kept on to his path. And some lessons that we learn in life, we may already know the answer, but sometimes it takes the alchemists in our life to invoke them in us to see that we were doing the right thing all along, that we just didn't have the right vision on it. Normally, most books go in chapters, but this book is cut into part 1 and part 2. Part 2 really does it for me because part 2 is towards the ending of his story. And you see his growth throughout the book. And you see him reaching his goal, and he's like right there. And he had almost a setback, which he thought was when he met Fatima. Because, sometimes when we find true love, we kind of stop pursuing our dream because we met somebody who was like make everything worthwhile. And it's like, I don't need that career goal. But she told him, if this is meant to be, I'll still be here after you achieve your goal. And I love that part in the book. Yeah. That really did it for me.
There wasn't a particular part, I would say, that spoke to me, but there were a couple of quotes that I wrote down, just like last time, because that's kind of how I like to look at the book. And one was on page 16, and he was told, everyone seems to have a clear idea of how other people should lead their lives, but none about his or her own. And I think that's so relevant because we always could give other people advice about how to get their lives together.
But we can't get it on.
But we don't, first of all, we don't follow that advice that we give them.
Never.
So it's like, I think it's just very meaningful because we give advice, so we should be able, if we're giving people advice, we should be able to use that same advice, and it shouldn't be so difficult for us, but it's always easier coming from someone else for whatever reason. I don't know if maybe you have an answer for that, but it always seems like advice coming from someone else is easier to listen to than the stuff that we already know for ourselves.
Because maybe it's that second opinion. Like viewers, you agree that second opinion makes things easier for you. Like it clarifies. Like, okay, you know what? Even though you thought about it, hearing from somebody else is so much more reassuring.
That's true.
On how to go about things. So I agree with you there.
But even after you go through it, whatever they told you, you look back at it and you're like, well, I knew that from the beginning. But I guess you're right. I guess that reassurance.
So is that voice on the shoulder that does it. That does it.
Hopefully it's the good voice.
Yes. Oh, man. It's so many. But I want to say, I'm going to give him some airplay. One of my Hill House football brothers, Rick Barrett. Because he's somebody that he always talks some junk to me, but he meant well. He laid out the blueprint, but he never gave me the exact way on how to do it. He told me what the goal was, but he said that you got to have your own path on how you achieve this goal. So, Rick, you get airplay on that one.
I don't think there really is one. I've had my life has been kind of, people at different points in my life have always kind of steered me in the right direction. So it's like a handful of people I would say have really contributed to where I am right now. Like when I was trying to write the book and I got discouraged, there was a few authors around me who pushed me to continue to go. I just think it's just been so many different people. I can't put my finger on one particular alchemist.
The goal of the author was to be your own person. Because Santiago is raised to be a priest. You know, he goes to school, he learns, and you know, he told his father, "That's not the way I want to live my life." You know, I want to do something else. His father, you know, his father gave him blessings to pursue your own path. And in life, you know, sometimes our parents have things set up for us to, this is how you should live your life. This is what you should do. But being that rebellious side in you, you know, you want to go your own way. You want to learn your own way. Like you might not so much want the spoon fed to you. You know, like you want to create your own things, create your own success. There's nothing wrong with coming from a tree of success that just falls into your lap, but making your own path and coming up with your own story. And I really do find that was the goal in this book. You know, creating your own path. You know, being your own person, finding the personal legend within you.
Yeah, that's exactly what I got out of it. It's kind of like looking within yourself to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish. Because, like you said, his parents, his family had a plan for him, but that's not what he wanted to do. And the problem, I think, nowadays is that the parents in this situation today, they wouldn't have given him the blessings. Because didn't he give him, like, some of his inheritance or something to go start and get his flock?
He gave him three Spanish coins.
Three
Spanish gold coins.
You rarely would see that because it's so hard out there, and parents are not going to try to put their kids in a situation where they might not succeed. And by doing that, I think you're kind of hindering them from accomplishing the things that they could instead of encouraging them. So I got basically the same thing out of it that you got out of it.
Definitely. The age group I recommend this for is that tender age of like 21, 22, because you're just now graduating college for the most part, and we get these degrees, and you know, sometimes you may not get that job for like the first 2 years. You may want to, if you're in a good financial state, you may want to travel the world. So, you know, this book is something that, you know, it helps you, because sometimes we go to school, get done in 4 years, and we're still lost. Yes, we completed it, we crossed the stage, but we're still lost. And you know, a lot of our 20s, you're still lost, but definitely that tender age of 21, 22, I would definitely suggest to read this book. It would give you like a input on how you should live your life if you know you want to go down your own righteous path.
I definitely agree. Just as your point about being lost, I see so many people, including myself. Like, I got a bachelor's, I got a master's in business, and my career right now has nothing to do with that. So I'm still trying to figure things out. I wrote a book, and I still don't know what I want to do with my life. So it's so many people in the same predicament. And it's funny that you mentioned college, because that's kind of like the boy in the story. You know, everybody expects you to go to college, but that's not for everybody. Some people have other dreams. Some people might just want to pick up a trade.
Definitely.
Some people might want to be actors or artists in other fashions.
Definitely.
And often we as society kind of shun those people because they're not going the traditional school route.
Yeah.
So I think I would recommend it for people of that age and maybe even a little earlier, the people that are getting out of high school and they have visions for their lives, and everybody's pushing them to go to college or whatever, but they want to do something different. So I think it applies to a lot of different people.
Definitely. So my favorite quote in this book, which is one of many, is, "Because when we love, we always strive to become better than we are." I'll read it one more time for you. "Because when we love, we always strive to become better than we are." I put that into terms of when you love something that you do, you really put your all into it. You really want to craft it. You really want to make it your own. You don't just give it 50% effort. You give it 150 million% and give it all that you have. Because love conquers all. Whether you're loving somebody or loving your craft or loving others around you, love is very powerful. So don't forget, you can get this book, The Alchemist, either on Amazon, go to your local Barnes & Nobles, any other bookstore. It's a very popular book, been out for quite some time. And it's a great read. You know, it really inspired me to keep on doing what I'm doing with my life, no matter how many doubts and naysayers I have, keep striving to be the best I can be. I thank you for tuning in. I thank you for the comments that you give me, whether it's via text, but remember, like and subscribe to Be Culture. I'll be putting this on my Instagram, Facebook. Keep giving me feedback. I enjoy it. I'm still new with this. You know, whatever else you have, you know, I don't mind it. Just keep it positive in the comment section. That's all I ask. I don't mind to get critiqued. If you have a book that you would like me to read and review on, I'm all ears. I appreciate you. Be Culture. Read The Alchemist.